So he's coming.
Micah, alive. Yeah. Process. Oh, yeah. They have a bathroom in here afterwards. Yes, good job. I don't know what to talk.
Where are you sitting? Right here?
Yeah, I'll sit next to you. I just want to sit in the reserve.
Good job.
Huh?
Can I tell by guy good job?
I want after he's done speaking.
Oh, just for maintaining his
Oh yeah. Oh good.
abilities to be.
Hey Gina, John.
Hey.
What are you doing? Oh, the cat. Okay, let me get it afterward. Just don't
Okay.
let me forget. But let me see what you got.
That's what I'm trying to bring up. Give me a minute. It keeps erasing when I try to do it. It's on here.
We had
All right, let me try this one. Bill,
Just go to all your messages.
yes,
yes.
Oh no, your pictures now.
but
This is a different one I put on. Hold on.
Hey guys, we're back again.
yeah,
There's your photo gallery.
That's what I'm looking for.
you know,
It's here, but it's not there.
By guy, do you need an agenda?
My camera.
What?
You need an agenda?
I can't see it.
Agenda?
Oh, these are it?
Can't
No.
see it.
Oh, that's why.
Is this it? Is this it?
Yeah, there's several of them. I'm sure. Several.
But that's one thing.
There's several. Several of them. I don't know why I don't show them. Is it showing?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Hold on. Why it's not? Hold on.
That's one.
I don't know why it's not.
Yeah, it is one.
I know, but I'm trying to share it to myself.
I don't.
No wonder you're not in your regular thing.
You mean photos?
Uh,
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Well, I'll just share this with you. It's just like it was stand up. That was oh yeah, well, yeah, it's a little
Laura, do you have cataracts?
no,
Oh.
it does. He's too
No,
young.
just clear up. Get like little allergies. Just
Got it.
or
Did it come through yet? I took a picture when the group was eating too.
What's this one? Hey guys. Oh yeah, it's super pop. Yeah, it's been a really long day.
What?
But okay, so wait. So all right, I have to go back to you. So that's one, and this is a separate one, or is that
Yeah,
the
they're
same
all
one?
separate.
That's a separate one.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get them all because they weren't. I took them all when they were eating, but that's not a close up. They wouldn't let me. They were so busy eating.
one of my college, my favorite activity right now. College.
I may need you to help me read my thing. Is that okay if I
Yeah.
can't? If I can't see it, is that okay? Joanne?
I'm trying to show you how to do it with
Oh.
mail. So
I have to start doing that stuff. Well, I'll try to
I
get one.
can't read it. Can you read it for me? What I wrote?
Yeah, but I need to speak from your heart.
Because I want to do the
Huh?
speech.
I don't want to touch it. It's wet.
no, it's not.
That does feel good. Okay, guys.
Although I do like the guys.
All right, wait. I'm getting distracted here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Albert, Super Pup, Conan Wandy, Kathy, John Lee. Like, oh, John Lee. Is it John Lee? Gina, Hello, hello. All right, wait, hold on. I gotta. Okay, which is the next one? Hold on.
Yeah. There's several of them. That one of them?
A
Yes.
bunch of them.
That's when they're eating.
Okay. Uh, yeah, it is on YouTube. Look up Burbank. Can you try to get more though?
I'll try, but I can get a few more.
Yeah, let's try to get more.
I will.
All right,
Got it?
thank you. Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh my god. Super pop. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Rockstar, all the landlord. Boy, it's been a long day. It's been crazy. Oh, thank you so much. And we had to get up early tomorrow for day two. Oh, hopefully, Shrimp Guy and his buddy.
Well, get on my calendar and see if you can really tell me that.
Oh man, I can't believe we're here. I'm so like goofy.
Or just more information. Oh, we'll call her.
I feel like
Just one.
I like her hair with the pink. I like her hair. Is that the man?
Okay.
Oh my god! No, please don't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't with these people. Okay, we're just in a goofy mood. I think we're like, I've had too much coffee. Too much like, see, I had chamomile tea. I had coffee. I have to pee so bad. And peppermint tea, and I have to pee. Oh, Gina, thank you. I stand with all this and all that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And hi, guys, and bike guys there. Yep. Yeah. How many people look like they're gonna talk? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Super Puppet and Gina. Today was just an interesting day. I need to unpack it in my brain. This is very different from. I don't even know what I want to say. Like, I guess I'm gonna talk about drug free. Oh, wait, what's their names? Like, doc, no, what's her name? The one for drug free America? No, the one who Doctor and and then there was another one who no and the no the other one. Carol, not Carol. No, there's. Sorry, we're so goofy right now. We're like, and then I have to give white guys public comment. Oh wow. Okay. What's the other chick's name? The other lady. Magala. Don't you have the names there? No. That from the Scientology from Drug Free World. Oh, I didn't put it down. Carol Maglios. Carol Maglios. I need the name. Everybody else here. Anyone from Drug Free America? I forget her name. Was that a fart? Not for me. Empathetic veteran. Not for me. It looks like Kakori. This is so weird. We're like in a. This is so different from LA City Hall. Look, we're in a different world. It's like so different. No, I mean just compared to downtown.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, so like.
Like, oh, yeah, let's have tea and crumpets. Like, reminds me of that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reminds me of that. No, not like we're here and we're pissed. It's like we're very mad. Our our trash driver was 10 minutes late. The trash pickup came 10 minutes. It's like, do they have real problems? No, that's over in the corner. I did. I think I heard it, but I don't. But it wasn't me. I promise it was not me. White guy's excited. He's staring at the police badge. Look at him. So He sees the cop. He's like staring at his badge. Probably. We don't know any of these people. They look like they have. Look, they have good lot. Like they they don't have worries for. They don't have the same worries here. Oh, Nikki Perez. But she's cool though. No, no, no. But where is Nikki Perez? She gets it. She said no. She goes, I felt something was off with them. Like, yeah, because the mayor, Nikki Perez, yeah, they had her up there. She was saying like she let them come speak because they were saying, well, we're going to help you with all this. And she was all excited. But because then she goes, there's something weird because she goes, like they were blaming the addict for their addiction. Huh? Yeah, she used to be the mayor. Yeah. Which one? She's not, they change every year. The second one in, Nikki Perez. So she said she gets it. Hey, Donna. I mean, the fastest way to find out who's infiltrated in the Scientology. Oh, me too. So we need to call the ambulance. Sorry, I get distracted. Yeah. No, here, yeah, it's so different. Yeah, we are not going to let them get safe pointed here. I know you could call in. I'm sorry, guys. I totally got distracted with putting it up, so I apologize. I didn't put it up, but if anyone can find it, if you look up at Burbank City Council, you'll see the agenda if anyone wants to call in. Oh, wait, no, I think you can still call in. I think. No way, ambulance. Oh, wow. They're looking at me funny. Huh? I can't believe I'm still like awake and like not half. I only had like 5 hours sleep, which is enough, but it's been a long day. It's the pistachio, you say. Yeah. I think that's
Good
hers.
evening and welcome to a regular meeting of the Burbank City Council on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Please join me for a moment of reflection. This moment is intended to begin our meeting with the positive and collective support of our beloved community. The City Council welcomes everyone joining us this evening. We encourage you to take a moment to reflect on our community and the work we will be doing tonight. Although each of us has our own unique reasons for being here, we are united in our passion for our wonderful city. As we pause, let us consider our individual contributions and what they mean to those around us. Let us find solace in knowing that by working together with a shared spirit of community and partnership, we will always act responsibly for the betterment of Burbank. And I also invite you to join me today to take a moment of silence for Alex Price. May you rest in peace. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States for which it's the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's very different. That's very different.
Good evening, Madam City Clerk. How are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you, Madam Mayor?
I'm good, thank you. Please conduct a roll call.
Councilmember Anthony,
Present.
Councilmember Perez,
Here.
Councilmember Rosati,
I am here.
Vice Mayor Mullins,
Here.
and Mayor Takahashi.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. There will be 3 periods of public comment tonight. Members of the public may comment in person or by telephone during the general public comment period and must submit cards or call before the general public comment period begins. The first public comment period is for general public comment on any matter concerning city business and/or any agenda item. If you are here in person and wish to speak during general public comment, you should have submitted a yellow public comment card to address the council over here at City Clerk's desk. If you would like to participate in the general public comment over the phone, please call now at 818-238-3335.
You guys get that?
Callers will be placed in a queue until the general public comment period begins, at which time no additional calls will be taken. Additional public comment periods will be available following the 2 reports to council later this evening. Interpreters are also available for assistance with public comment, We have both Spanish and Armenian interpreters here with us this evening, sitting in the front row. Please connect with them if you are in need of services, and feel free to walk up to them and request services if you need them. We have 5 announcements this evening.
Community meeting on Thursday, January 29th at 5:30 p.m. to learn more about the Golden State Neighborhood Protection Plan and share your input on potential impacts from future residential development. An in-person community meeting will also be held at the Community Services Building on Thursday, February 19th at 6 p.m. Phase 1 of the plan will focus on neighborhoods north of Empire Avenue and south of San Fernando Boulevard. Find meeting details on burbankca.gov or contact Senior Transportation Planner Marcos Fuentes by emailing mfuentes@burbankca.gov. Join Burbank Bus for a pop-up event at the Burbank Farmers Market on Saturday, January 31st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Located in the Community Services Building parking lot on the corner of Olive and Glen Oaks, stop by to learn about bus route options and transit resources. Free promotional items are available for the first 50 visitors. See you there. The Burbank City Clerk's Office is accepting applications for one vacancy on the Infrastructure Oversight Board for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2027. The deadline to apply is Monday, February 2nd at 5 p.m. If interested, please apply online at burbankca.gov/BCC application. As a reminder, any person appointed to fill a vacancy shall hold office for the remainder of the unexpired term. Persons appointed to serve unexpired terms must complete the term before applying to serve on another board, commission, or committee. For more information, please contact the Burbank City Clerk's Office at 818-238-5851 or email cityclerks@burbankca.gov. The Burbank City Clerk's Office is accepting applications for one vacancy on the Art and Public Places Committee for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2026. The deadline to apply is Thursday, February 5th at 5 p.m. If interested, please apply online at burbankca.gov/BCC application. As a reminder, any person appointed to fill a vacancy shall hold office for the remainder of the unexpired term. Persons appointed to serve unexpired terms must complete the term before applying to serve on another board, commission, or committee. For more information, please contact the Burbank City Clerk's Office at 818-238-5851 or email cityclerks@burbankca.gov. The Burbank City Clerk's Office is accepting applications for one vacancy on the Burbank Water and Power Board for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2028. The deadline to submit an application is Wednesday, February 11th at 5 p.m. If interested, please apply online at burbankca.gov/BCC application. As a reminder, any person appointed to fill a vacancy shall hold office for the remainder of the unexpired term. Persons appointed to serve unexpired terms must complete the term before applying to serve on another board, commission, or committee. For more information, please contact the Burbank City Clerk's Office at 818-238-5851 or email cityclerks@burbankca.gov. This concludes the announcements for this evening.
Great, thank you. You have 3 boards you can all apply for. City Clerk is right there, more information. All right, tonight our first and only presentation this evening is the presentation of the proclamation declaring January 1st to 31st, 2026 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in the city of Burbank. Please join me in welcoming Gloria Salas, Director of Zonta Club in Burbank, to the podium. Gloria, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, what are you doing now? I have this whole thing ready, but there's just a few things I'm going to mention before I tell you a little story that happened just before I came here. Once we recognize the system that allows human trafficking to thrive, and it happens in our own city, even though you don't hear about it, but we need to advocate for stronger penalties and enforcements against buyers of sex. We need to challenge the language that degrades women and normalizes sexual exploitation. We need to also mentor our young men, help them to decode cultural messages about masculinity, and educate the young women and men about sexual exploitation and trafficking. And to that, California has a law, AB 1227, signed in 2017, that mandates schools offer education and training on human trafficking identification and prevention in order to avert children from being exploited for sex or labor. So if your child or grandchild or niece, nephew is going to any of our local schools, ask them, and they're grades 7 to 12, ask if they are receiving this type of training at least once. And if not, then maybe we all have to go back to the school board. But also become involved in local and national anti-human trafficking coalitions. The Zonta Club of Burbank area, and I'm very proud to say that we have 3 members here on the dais. We also fight against human trafficking, domestic violence, and child California. But what I wanted to say is just before I came, a friend of mine called and said that she had seen, not here in Burbank, but in LA on Van Nuys, in the night, had seen a young lady and barely clothed on the corner. She pulled over and asked this young lady if she would like a sweater or a jacket. And the woman apparently was very defensive and said no, but also immediately said, explained away the bruises that she had on her arms. And my friend had not asked her anything about the bruises or commented on them. She just said, oh, she had taken a fall. So the woman basically said, I don't want your help, and started walking away. So my friend turns and parks somewhere and calls me and says, what should I have done? She was very close to a nonprofit called Journey Out, which helps survivors of human trafficking. I said, you should have called them and see if they had somebody who could just, drive over and help the young lady, or call the police, 911, and tell the dispatcher if they had a mental health team that could come and assist, and call the police and tell them to be gentle. Because anything you say on the dispatch does get recorded. So this way you are asking law enforcement to approach someone who may be drugged, who may be feeling very nervous, scared, and defensive at the same time. So just because we see someone on the street scantily dressed does not necessarily mean that, oh, there goes a whore asking for something. You just don't know. They could be drugged. They could be being watched. Because my friend said, I was almost tempted to go back, offer her money to come and stay at my place overnight so I could feed her and clothe her. And I said, no, do not do that. You don't know who's watching. And then they'll know where you live. So as a community, we all need to look out for each other and for the strangers. As BHRC says, show love, be kind. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if we call it the whole representation we have today and call up the Zonta members up here, maybe do the presentation?
That's good.
This is a team effort, right?
Yes, it is. And also, the Zonta Club of Burbank accepts members, any male or female, who believe in the mission.
Right, it's about the mission, that's right. All right, so whereas January is recognized as National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, an observance initiated in 2010 to uphold the inherent equality and freedom of all individuals, to foster legislation and protections for survivors, and to promote public awareness and action against human trafficking in all its forms. And whereas despite over 2 decades since the passing of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, human trafficking continues to affect an estimated 27.6 million people globally, with cases reported in every U.S. state and territory. Whereas human trafficking, defined as the use of force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of labor or commercial sexual exploitation, now ranks as the world's second largest and rapidly growing underground economy. And whereas the devastating impact of human trafficking, profound physical, sexual, and psychological harm to its victims, necessitates vigilant and comprehensive strategies to combat and requires concerted efforts across all sectors of society. And whereas the city of Burbank recognizes the importance of community engagement education and the participation of every citizen in eradicating beliefs and practices that foster exploitation. Now therefore, I, Tamala Takahashi, Mayor of the City of Burbank, do hereby proclaim January 2026 to be Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Burbank, California, and encourage all residents to join in the fight against human trafficking through education, advocacy, and action.
Okay, looking right here. And one more. One more.
Awesome.
And I also want to thank the city of Burbank for passing the ordinance that exemplifies what California laws passed, or the California governor signed a few years ago, to have certain businesses have a poster that gives the 800 number. So again, thank you for all your efforts and for your work. Yeah, thanks. I've definitely seen those posters around. I hope you guys have seen those posters. So thank you for all your advocacy. Mr. City Manager, do we have a city manager's report tonight?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I do not have anything for tonight, as I will let our federal advocacy group take center stage.
Okay, so since there's no city manager report, we will go to the presentation by our federal legislative Ferguson group. So our next item is a presentation, a federal legislative update. Joining us tonight is Mr. Chris Kearney and Ms. Charmaine Anderson from the Ferguson Group. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Welcome, good to see you here.
Good to see you as well. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Charmaine and I are here to report that we did not bring the Eastern cold with us. And we thank you greatly for the wonderful afternoon that we have spent soaking up sunshine. I am sad that we have to get on planes tomorrow, but we're enjoying the time nonetheless. Thanks again for having us. Got a little election since we've seen you last. It's been quite a year. With the few minutes we have, we're going to hit some highlights, and I'm happy to answer the questions. I want to talk a little bit about briefly where we've been, a little bit about where we are, a little bit looking forward in the time that we have. So I would characterize certainly the first half of 2025 as much change, to say the least. I will tell you, you have read the papers, you are keenly aware, broadly speaking, it was as crazy and as chaotic inside the Beltway as it seemed from outside. There were a flurry of executive orders. There was a significant amount of federal government reorganization, which accompanied a substantial amount of brain drain from government officials. There were all kinds of questions about the independence of various organizations. There were budget cuts, grant freezes, elimination of programs like the emergency housing voucher program that we consider so important. We had a government shutdown in there. So I would characterize that first several months as a high degree of uncertainty, a lot of confusion, and frankly, the government not really functions in a full way like that. We continued to engage at the career and political level as time went on with a number of vacancies, but we have relationships that have transcended years and administrations. We were able to keep an eye on things and continue to keep an eye on the emerging things like the Warner Brothers Netflix merger. Obviously, a number of the independent agencies like FERC and the MSP and others that we were interested in as they made their way. And I will tell you, and as someone who spent a number of years in the federal government and Charmaine has worked in and around it, I want to give an enormous shout out to the incredible courage and strength and fortitude of the federal employees that worked day in and day out in that chaos and that uncertainty. It was amazing. To say the least. Okay, I'm slightly biased, I live with one, but nonetheless, I can honestly tell you that was the case across the board. Just amazing. We did see the light starting to brighten in the second half of the year. Part of that, frankly, was brought on by the Senate rules that changed and allowed for large blocks of senior to mid-level appointees to be appointed. So a number of positions quickly got filled in. At one point, they actually confirmed 88 appointees in one year. On the congressional end, as you are no doubt aware, we had the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, or OB3 as we call it. All of the issues that are energy credits and that sort of thing. I will tell you, there is a bright, there are a number of provisions done to taxes. We did not see things like municipal financing and other provisions that local governments on that chopping block. So we wanted we certainly saw that. The shutdown, one of the things that the shutdown did, unfortunately, is it took 40+ days off of the very tight legislature, which means we have that much less time to work on highway bill and appropriations and permitting reforms and a lot of it. One of the bright lights, though, and another shine silver lining that came out of the shutdown was I think Congress was reminded about what works and how important government is and how important funding of appropriations and the fundamental basic work that they needs to get done. And there was a renewed interest and support for things like earmarks. And so as we bounced back from the shutdown, a number of the lights started to get brighter. A number of appointments started to be confirmed. A number of the day-to-day chaos activities started to settle down. The government, as it always does, started to find its rhythm. Political and career folks started to work together in a way that they hadn't earlier. The Doge effort dialed down, and that had a significant effect in sort of calming the world. And then also the earmarks process got going again. We had a number of ones that we filed on behalf of the city. We are happy to report at this point that the funding for the Alabama Bridge and for the library have made it into their respective final bills. So we are happy and grateful for that. They are not yet passed, but they are final in public, so we believe that they will eventually get across the finish line. Another issue that took some space Road Housing Act, bipartisan measure in the Senate, championed by Elizabeth. And we put those two minutes together. I'm happy to report passed unanimously, 27-0 on the banking committee. When was the last time that happened? I think we're really optimistic. It's a topic that's gaining traction, continuing to pick up speed. Similarly, in the House Financial Services Committee also passed bipartisan legislation, which features improvements and focuses on, among other things, CDBG and the home program. Those are both programs that are high on the list of Congress for improvement and for funding. We've continued to work closely with council staff throughout the process, and they have been incredible as always. One of the things I will note to you is that NEPA improvements, environmental streamlining efforts, is starting to get traction in the affordable housing space. Folks are recognizing that one of the invisible costs and processes has to do with the permitting matters related on affordable housing. Congresswoman Friedman has been a leader on that. She has a piece of legislation that would improve the NEPA process for infill housing in the city, which monitors comes in similar to what has been passed in the state legislature. She was also instrumental, by the way, I should note, as was our Senate delegation, but she and her staff in particular took the time to work really hard with us on the Alabama Bridge funding issue. I think they really put in some extra work that honestly might have made the difference getting us to the point where we are. So moving, just to wrap up sort of where we are in 25 in terms of 26, there are a number of comprehensive pieces of legislation that I think are going to find their way to the finish line or close to it. Not only the affordable housing package, assuming we have the calendar and the bandwidth on it, a significant highway bill that could feature grant programs for large and small bridges, which will other things. Permitting reform bill, which people often think of as an energy project, but actually likely involve transportation and housing this time, as well as something called Fix Our Forest Act, which in the forestry space has a number of provisions related to wildfire and mitigation impacts of something we consider a priority. Senator Padilla in particular has been a leader there. He was one of the original co-sponsors of the Senate legislation. I spoke with his staff as recently as this week. They are deeply in negotiations with Republicans to try to find a solution on some thorny issues related to that bill involving Clean Air Act, and they think they'll get somewhere along on that. As we turn into this year, I think we're going to continue to see another round of robust efforts on earmarks from the city. We actually think there'll be reasons to add some to some of the ones that we did this year. We also think that as the Congressman Friedman has been working for some time on tax reduction to keep U.S. film producers here in Burbank City. She's putting a lot of time into that. She's trying to fend off, among other things, some of her Republican colleagues that simply don't want to bother with that. They would just rather do tariffs and try to deal with it at the foreign level. And she's trying to say, no, I was talking to her staff the other day. We want to really focus on the tax benefits of this domestically. That's really where the time is. So she's taking the extra time to work across the aisle. And we continue, of course, to support her there. And finally, we will obviously continue to look for those opportunities not yet seen and anything that would challenge the city's interests as we go forward, both from an executive and legislative standpoint. So there's some other stuff, but that's certainly the highlights of
And just to kind of wrap up, I think the one key thing amongst all of this, I mean, again, as Chris, kind of alluded to, is, as you all know, the beginning of the year was certainly one of instability. But we've found through the course of the year, certainly, partisanship does still reign in Washington, in order to really move, not only funding, but policy. And that's as we move into even this midterm election year, which again will certainly bring its own challenges, but we do find that, there will certainly be some level of, coming together as far as, again, the earmarking process and where we're able to, bring success here to the city. And more importantly, to some of these big policy issues, particularly, we're dealing now with the Water Resources Development Act and how that deals with the Army Corps of Engineers and how they work, in lockstep with, local government communities. And so we do see, again, big policies that may make their way to the finish line, like the road to housing or some sort of formulation of that, because again, this administration is really big on, affordability and certainly, making sure folks are housed. And certainly, as we thought with the president's budget that came out last year, where there were, obviously zero programs that were zeroed out, particularly in the housing space, we found that Congress really kind of came behind us. And as we advocated so strongly with some of the larger groups like the U.S. Conference of Mayors and the National League of Cities and other large local government constituency groups, where we were able to kind of get additional funding in the housing space for a lot of these housing and homelessness programs for fiscal year 26. So we definitely see kind of a momentum of doing even more of that as we move into this next phase of funding the federal government. But like Chris says, we're kind of teetering during this week ahead, as we hope that the Senate will take up, particularly, the last remaining of the housing and other appropriation bills, so we can get fiscal year 26 behind us and kind of move forward into fiscal year 27.
And don't underestimate, we have a record number of retirements.
Yes.
Over 40 retirements in the House, probably 42, 43. We've never had that many this early in the cycle. The way I like to describe it is that means we got 43 free agents across all parties. Get up every morning deciding what they want to do. Do I want to vote with my leadership? Do I want to vote for my friends? Do I not want to go to work at all? So it'll be an interesting dynamic to see. So this notion of who's in control and who's not from a number standpoint, it really isn't what's at play here. It's really what's sort of that moving dynamic.
Thank you for that update. Colleagues, do we have any questions, brief questions? Councilmember Anthony and then Councilmember Perez.
Any updates on this, the credit card fee cap percentage? I know the president.
Oh, the 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good question. The short answer is no, but I think that the politics and the sort of dynamic of how banking community and others have kind of come out, traditional constituencies, and expressed that this is not as simple as it appears, has given a lot of folks, pause, at least from their perspective. So I think there's a lot of political support for it, and I think you'll hear more talk about it. I think in terms of operationalizing it, there are just some practical challenges that folks are probably going to be hard to do.
Thank you all for sharing the highlights. It's been an interesting year. Speaking of that, what can we look out for in the next few months? What should municipalities be on the lookout for regarding, of course, the feds?
Yeah, I think it's really what we said. I think the Road to Housing Act, the Affordable Housing Bill, I think that really warrants some attention, and we're continuing to pay attention to it, dig down. I think that's between the House and the Senate, you have the chance to have the first most comprehensive impacts on housing from the federal level in 50 years. I mean, the home program and the CVE program haven't even been touched since they were authorized back in the 90s. So I think first and foremost for us, there's that on the offensive side. I think right behind that is engaging on the upcoming highway bill. I think the next one is we expect to see legislation released in March from the House and probably soon after in the Senate on the highway, or what they call a surface transportation bill, the highway development bill, highway law. In there will be things like funding for large and small bridges. So that's where additional large dollars for Olive Avenue would come from, among other things. That would also be a place where potentially there may be some regulatory improvements on NEPA and that sort of thing. So I think those are two. Then Charmaine alluded to it, the Water Resources Development Act, which primarily focuses on Army Corps of Engineer projects, but also has a section called Environmental Infrastructure, or 219. BWP actually submitted a request to authorize the project there, and the way WRDA works is if you get authorized in this bill, then you have the opportunity to come back for an appropriation in the next one. But the value is that you've been already authorized by Congress, so you know what I mean when I say this, sort of the legitimacy and the value of your project. That's so cool. So that would create an opportunity. And then I think the Fix Our Forest Act is going to be a potential one that from wildlife mitigation and prescribed burn and so forth. And finally, gearing up for really leaning into the earmarks. I think we are going to have a real opportunity in an election year to perhaps spread our wings there a little bit, build on the success of all around, build on the library. So I think in an era where people feel like there's a lot of chaos and not, I can tell you from years being in Washington, and Charmaine can as well, this year is a classic example of the fact that there's 535 people that try very hard, regardless of the outside noise, and they're not perfect, to come to Washington and try to get stuff done. And some do it better than others. And these are a few examples of ones that are really trying to get it done.
And to also answer your question, I think too, there'll obviously be a mobilized effort to increase and or definitely maintain the funding that you all participate in as far as federal programs. So again, the housing programs, transportation programs, the environmental related, water related programs. So that'll definitely be a big push for fiscal year 27, particularly as the president's budget, will, present itself in the coming months. So we'll also be definitely advocating for those programs.
Thank you. Councilmember Rosati, did you have a question?
Any comments on the thoughts of limiting corporations from purchasing single-family homes and how that'll play out?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because I think it's not getting a lot of, it's not like there's nothing in either bill about it, and it's not getting a lot of sort of mainstream discussion, but it's definitely out there. There's conflicting information about how widespread that issue is. But I think you will absolutely see, as the legislative process moves forward, I think you'll see people bring forward potential amendments on that and so on. But right at the moment, there's not anything huge broadly, but it's definitely an issue that's emerging, and I think you'll hear it discussed.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers, it's astonishing as to the holdings. So that's why
Yeah, and I think certainly it'll come up with an affordability conversation as well, because certainly, obviously, a lot of these corporations, when they do buy up, whether it's the block or they're buying up the whole subdivisions, it is, kind of causes an issue as far as, families being able to afford housing. So certainly you'll hear that word, and I think I shared that earlier today with, the department. The word affordability is going to be reigning clear throughout these next few months. And I think whether the road to housing bill makes it to the finish line in the early part of the year or the latter part of the year, the issue of affordability and helping people finance housing. And there's certainly a number of proposals that have been, put out there. So we'll kind of see where that plays out as well.
And yeah, it is a real issue. And one quick thing I would add is, unlike earlier last year, I think the White House dynamic in affecting members' actions is sort of receding a bit. And this free agent attitude that I mentioned also is focusing people who are also up for re-election. So I think issues like this will get more traction, sort of independent of where perhaps the White House might be, and that might not have been the case a year ago.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you. See, had I gone before you, I would have asked a question. The mayor decided to pick you first. Thank you. I'm excited, just joking. I'm really excited to at least find out that our Olive Bridge and the library has been at least in the pipelines.
Yeah.
I can say that. And this is really exciting for us because we definitely need the funds for it. And my question is, it involves also around homeowners under the affordable housing. Is there any incentives, or they're looking at, in addition to eliminating corporations from buying block of homes and building, they're talking about making incentives with lower interest rates or first-time homeowner buyers, because we definitely need that incentive to start getting our younger generations into their own first home that they can buy. So I've been hearing a lot of, chatters there.
Absolutely. And I think, again, as I mentioned, that is going to certainly be a reigning conversation over the next few months. And one key, proposal that has already been kind of put out there is even, assuming lower interest loans, those like, homeowners who want to sell, who got in with a very low interest loan and people being able to move into that home and take over that loan. So they're having, kind of forced over, kind of our current rates and they're able to get in at a cheaper, interest rate. So there's again, a number of proposals like that. And I think right now, the administration kind of started off in the housing conversation about build, 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 let's construct, construct, construct. But they're really moving, at least temporarily, if we're see, into kind of how can we help folks afford the homes to get into them. So again, and I think too, they see that as a better way, a quicker or faster way to get people housed. So, but we'll keep you all obviously abreast of all of that and certainly allow you all to kind of engage.
And the last thing on that is the president the White House is overdue for an announcement on an executive order on housing. And some of those things have been telegraphed. One that Sherry was mentioning has been talked as a possibility of a 50-year mortgage loan, perhaps, if you've heard about Scientology. We know that the White House has been working hard on this issue. Building point, we expect that executive order to come up. The executive order would be a natural place for the corporate housing. Frankly, an executive order would be a place under 10%. Law, which might be able to regulatorily do it. So that
I mean, we might just tweet about it, so.
Right. But the one, so we expect an executive order on housing and we expect that kind of issue will be permanent. So we'll stay tuned for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I have some more questions on housing and especially around funding. So thank you for sharing all this. Great news about the Olive Bridge and the library. Thank you so much for advocating on our behalf for both of those much needed improvements in our community. Great news about the road to housing and CDBG funds. That was also one of my worries of being on the chopping block. It's not as much as we would like in general, but to have them taken away altogether would be it would be such a loss for our community. So glad to hear that's still there. And the tax benefits for the film industry. Thank you for reminding us about that. Really hard on that, as well as that's all of our advocates for that from our area. So thank you for keeping on these issues for us and advocating on our behalf and going to Washington, D.C. in a snowstorm to do it. Appreciate that. Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to represent you all.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Mr. City Attorney, will you please report on closed session?
Yes, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, and for the benefit of the public, the City Council convened to close session at 4 p.m. this afternoon to discuss 3 items in closed session. The first 2 items were matters of existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 in the case of Melody Smalley versus City of Burbank, which is a trip and fall case. And second case for Ron Shamazarian versus City of Burbank, which is a motor vehicle accident. City Council also discussed a matter of labor negotiations with Ms. Betsy McClinton, Management Services Director, who serves as the city's labor negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, concerning negotiations with the Burbank City Employees Association. The City Council took no reportable action on any of these 3 items this evening.
Thank you. Now is the time for general public comment. I will be calling out the speaker's name as well as the person who is next in line to speak. In order to keep public comment moving in a timely fashion, we have designated a seat in the front row for speakers who are up next at the podium. A timer is available on the podium, and this is also the last call for anyone who needs an interpreter, or that these staff members will be released for the evening. Have we had any requests for interpretation? No? All right, then you are free to go. Thank you for offering your services. Persons may choose to use the first period of public comment to address an agendized report, but will not be able to speak on that item following this segment. When you speak, please state your name for the record and adjust the microphone if necessary so that folks at home can hear when you're speaking. All right, the general public comment period is now beginning and no additional cards or calls will be accepted. Madam City Clerk, how many public comment cards do we have and how many callers do we have?
We have 12 cards and 3 callers.
That's 15 total. So there's 15 speakers, so each speaker gets 3 minutes each.
Yes.
Hey. All right, so the first up is Audit LA, and second up is Laura FM. There you go. Yes,
Thanks.
welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been at City Hall down in LA since like what, 8, 9 this morning, so I'm a little tired. But before I get started on my comment, I want to say I'm an advocate for this lovely lady who's coming up next, Laura. And she is a survivor of Scientology. And I just want to let you know that she suffers from PTSD due to the horrendous abuse that she endured for her entire life until she got free. And so if she comes up here and cries or gets upset, I just want you to know it's because she survived and she's a survivor, not to take it personally or anything. So I just want to start with that. Um, I'm here because Scientology, through one of their front groups, Drug Free World, is trying to infiltrate Burbank. And I don't know if you're aware that it is Scientology. And Scientology is, and you're talking about trafficking, human trafficking. They are human traffickers. All human trafficking is not sex trafficking. There's such thing as labor trafficking. And they trafficked Laura's family here. Her family was trafficked here from Canada. And they traffic people here to get into their sea organizations where these people are held basically captive. They can't leave. They don't get to hold their passports or anything. They hold, you can't just go and leave, and they have to work over 110 hours a week, every day almost, and they, for $47 a week at most. That is human slave wages in Los Angeles in 2026, and it's still going on. I am disgusted by it. And they are trying to ruin my life. They are trying to ruin her life. I mean, she could talk more about it, but I don't care. I am not, if I have to go down defending people and helping survivors, people who want to escape. She, as a child, tried to escape. They dragged her back by her hair at It Ranch, a mile and a half through I'm telling her story's horrendous. She's carrying a book telling you about different stories. And there's so much. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And people like Kendrick Moxon and Kirsten Peterson and Linda Hamill Peters, they can go after me all they want. So if you start getting emails about what a horrible person Audit LA is, just please take it that it's called fair gaming, and they're there to ruin me. So you don't believe me, but you can look into it yourself. There's enough information about their front group, Drug Free World. They believe that the addict or anyone who's dealing with addiction, that it's their fault, that they need to figure out why this is happening to them. What did they do to bring this onto themselves? And they do not believe in psychiatry or mental health. And we are in a mental health crisis in this city and in this country right now, that we need more real help. And they don't believe in that. They believe that their enemy, their biggest enemy, is psychiatry and psychiatrists. So but they are trying to infiltrate government. And they, if they want to have their, believe what they want in their organizations, as long as they're not abusing people, which they are, they're abusing seniors, they're abusing children. Is that my 3 minutes? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Laura FM, followed by Guy. Welcome. Hi, this is my first time here in Burbank, so thank you. Again, I'm glad Audit was able to just kind of get that off. One of the main things I really want to talk about is Scientology does not, like she said, does not believe in psychiatry or mental health, period. That alone should stop you from allowing any of these fake programs. I'm in the middle of printing this little booklet off so that the next time I come here, I can give it all to you. But I'm going to read the first part for you. But inside it shows all the logos and every single group, what their exact intention is. Not what they PR the city about and what they infiltrate in, but it just shows you how they human traffic people. My whole family is from Canada. I was purposely born here in Hollywood while my mom came by herself 6 months pregnant, knowing that she was never going to go back. My dad, and eventually me, all became executives of this cult. I was born and raised in this, knew nothing about the outside world. So when we come up here to tell you this, we really mean this from the bottom of our hearts. I did not write this book. This was written by somebody who just released it, Jamie Mustard. He literally has a beautiful way of being able to even describe what was going on in the 80s and the 90s at the Blue Building and what's going on here in Burbank.
Just so you get an idea, please, if you can, remember it. It's Child X. It's available on Amazon, anywhere. You can listen to it on audio if you need to, if you're busy doing a million things. But this is the fastest way I can quickly say, please read this story, since I don't have my book out yet and I'm not doing that at the moment. I wanted to read this. Safe pointing is the biggest thing that Scientology does. They protect their PR and they protect the city from not disliking them or thinking or not seeing what they're really doing. So I only have 1 minute here, but this is a community warning. Scientology safe pointing. Safe pointing is a tactic used by the Church of Scientology to present itself as a trusted partner to authorities and community organizations while concealing its true purpose: recruitment, influence, and reputation management. They're also very much against gay rights and completely think that you should be expelled or exposed off this world. They're the most disgusting people in the world, yet here they want to help people or have people, so it's a complete lie. So I want to keep going. Scientology achieves this through flunk groups, which you guys will eventually get once I'm done doing all the work for that. To be secular charities, drug education programs, human rights initiatives, or mental health alternatives, because they do not believe in mental health or psychiatry. These groups offer free materials, training sessions, and partnerships, often targeting police, councils, churches, schools, and social services. I can go on, but thank you for listening. I will get this to you as soon as I can. If you can take a look, even a little bit, Child X is a great way to start.
Thank you for your comment.
Great job. Thank you.
Next up is Bike Guy, followed by Ron Bax.
Great job.
Good afternoon to the council, the mayor, the chief. I'm coming here regarding, I'd like you guys to consider helping the ADA and the handicapped people as far as making people who want to be cops, never made it, never will make it, like an assistant cadet or something like that. Can you read this? My eyes are really bad.
Is that okay? He's legally blind. I guess.
For now.
What's it? For now. He said, can you make a program?
Come up to the
Oh, okay.
microphone, please. Thank you. And feel free to stand next to.
You can stand here, so you can make sure. All right, he wants to make a program for disabled people or people like on a spectrum who cannot ever be a police officer, but they want to be, but they cannot. So make some kind of program similar to the cadet or explorers. I can't, it's hard to read his handwriting, who can do maybe public liaison work or like tech, for some kind of volunteer, but where they can take pride in the city.
Thank you.
Great job, okay. Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you for your comment.
I think that's a great idea.
Next up is Ron Bax, followed by Carmen. Welcome, you have 3 minutes.
Ron Bax. At the last meeting, I presented a slide. Maybe we have the slide. We don't have the slide. I can read it. I memorized it. All right. Discrimination is holding and projecting an opinion onto another without regard for what the other party does as an individual. I had a question and then a request. The question was, do you agree or disagree with this definition? And the request was, I want someone, ideally all 3 of you, to explain to me how the action the city council has taken against housing providers over the last 3 years does not meet this definition. And I got crickets. I'd like to add to that prejudice. Prejudice, a judgment or opinion, favorable or unfavorable, formed beforehand or without due examination. To avoid this, we try to have decision makers that are disinterested parties. So we do have impartiality. Councilmember Anthony, you have stated many times that you were the co-founder of what is now the BTU. I wonder how that makes you impartial. Mayor Perez, Councilmember Perez, thank you. Last fall, you talked about your family struggles, then you went personal, that you said that I could go home and I could find a rent increase on my door. Okay? Mayor Takahashi, you expressed to me and also to many other people through reports of your struggles with your daughter's housing. I'm bewildered how your struggles with your daughter's housing in Santa Barbara, which is a college town, which are historically and notoriously difficult housing markets, and is 90 miles away, enters into your considerations. Councilmember Rosati, he hasn't said anything either way, and yet he has been asked or advised to be recused because of the perception of impartiality, of non-partiality. And Vice Mayor Mullins, I've got to get you in too. You've always said you hope you're trying to make it fair for all parties. To my knowledge, she doesn't own any rental property and she is not a tenant. So I got her as impartial. Now, I talked about this form 3-4 times now, and twice it has been construed on complaining about the title. I'm not complaining about the title. I want a form that a housing provider can use. And while we're talking about the title, landlord-tenant complaint seems wrong if it's under the housing enforcement unit. Make it the housing enforcement unit complaint for it. Thank you.
Good timing. Thank you for your comment. Carmen is next, followed by Strauss. If I pronounced your name correctly.
Carmen, yes.
Welcome.
Oh, good night.
So do I hand these out first? Yes, please. Does that count as part of my training?
No, go ahead and give it to the clerk and she'll pass it around to us.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
going to keep one of those. Thank you.
I can read them.
Good evening, everyone and fellow citizens. I just wanted to talk about getting possibly some signs where there was recently a fatal crash very close to where I live, over at the intersection of Cass Avenue and Olive Avenue, where people get going pretty fast through there. And may she rest in peace. I didn't know her, but her name is Gladys Villalobos. And it happened 2 weeks ago tonight. And I'm sure many of you have experienced hearing that horrible sound of screeching brakes and then the inevitable metal crashing. Well, this one sounded so different. It didn't have screeching brakes. And it didn't sound like any metal hitting each other, no cars crashing. So I found that very interesting. I got out of bed. I was not sleeping, but I did hear it happen. I heard people talking outside, so I knew that there were people collecting. I live very close to where it happened, obviously, since I heard it. And so after this happened, I felt very compelled and called and inspired to drive that route over and over. And I walked it too. It just hit me so hard. I don't know why I'm emotional about it. I guess, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I am. And I'd like to read page 40. You don't have to follow along, but it says, to get drivers to reduce their speed as a curve is approaching, the most effective road signs are yellow warning signs featuring curved or winding arrows. That's like page 1. These signs indicate in which direction the road curves up ahead. They may even include a recommended speed for safely navigating the curve. There are no signs, to my surprise. There are no signs there. Yes, she was obviously speeding. Maybe you've all seen the video. But I really think it'd be helpful to have some signs there, at least someone to go and review the area and see if they think so too. Between Maple Street and Cass Avenue, Olive Avenue intersection, there are no signs there. That's where she hit the curb and then it flipped over and then it crashed and burned. and she brought it on the site. So you can see in all the pictures on be sure, page 2 and 3, those signs aren't really there. I put those there for Photoshop, so you can see what that would look like. There are 2 potential places, I think, where signs could go, where they don't have to install a post. There are tree lamps, so thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Mark Scroggs, followed by Paul Preston. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Scroggs. I want to let everyone know that on Thursday at 7, the Cultural Arts Committee is hosting a panel, which is nearby at the Community Service Building around the corner at 115 West or North 3rd Street. I'm part of this panel. It's going to be fun. It's going to be energetic, trust me. It's regarding getting people, when people reach out for talent and mistakes they made. This is part of the whole entertainment business. And how many mistakes they make, how they don't give information. I've had stuff sent to me where I don't even know the last name of the client they want. I have 2 Mindys. Like, we want Mindy, like which one? And then things like that, meetings and all that sort of stuff. But these are little things that we can do right now. So I want to encourage everybody to show up for that. Because we want to help out. And speaking of helping out and doing things, I know I brought it up before, but I want to encourage everyone in the entertainment industry to join the committee for the First Amendment. Entertainment is one of the first areas that gets sucked up with oligarchs. I was at that First Amendment thing the other night. It was fascinating. Even if you're not in the industry, you still can go to www.committeeforthefirsamendment.com for information. They have panels, they have videos, and different things that people can do. But it's really important for the communities to be involved. It's just very important. What was I going to say? Go back to everything. Yeah, and I'm also asking them to see if they can do like local chapters. So we have like a Burbank, Glendale chapter. There's other people at the meetings that were from the area that we could do here. So there's a lot of people that just don't know how to get involved. Our meeting tonight, and all the city council meetings, is a perfect example of the First Amendment. We have freedom of speech, press, religion, the right to assemble, petition. We could lose all that if we don't pay attention. Please reach out to me. You can reach me at my work email, mark@lbtown.com, or to the Committee for the First Amendment for more information. This is bipartisan. This isn't, this affects all of us. So I really encourage people, because you see with the protests, you see everything that's going on right now. You see people talking tonight about, like Scientology and different things. We have to be able to speak about it. We have to be able to do it. So it's really important. The last couple seconds is up at Sundance. There's been a group that's indie filmmakers that have created a site called www.blockthemerger.com, where people can reach out. It's very simple to go to. If I can help with dealing with Warner Brothers and all that, and my time is up.
Perfect timing.
Next up is Paul Preston, followed by Jim Lane. Welcome.
Didn't know we could have slides. My name is Paul Preston, homeowner here in Burbank. I've rented for 17 years now. I reside at 1414 North Whitnall Highway. Across the street from my house is a triangle of land that could be lovely, but currently it's not. It's bordered by Whitnall, Burbank, and Clybourne. Whitnall Park ends at Burbank, leaving this one area north of it unattended. Every few months it gets mowed, that's it. So as opposed to the lovely manicured grass and beautiful trees of Whitnall Highway Park, this triangle is a field of unkempt brown grass and weeds most of the year, as well as trash that no one seems to attend to, as they would if this patch of Burbank were part of the park. I first moved here in April. Last year it wasn't brown, it was green. But still overgrown and prone to attracting all kinds of bugs. It's green again from the rain, attracting bugs again, overrun with weeds again. Some pics from the end of the summer when the grass turns brown. And it also gives a good view. Hey, look, lovely park. Not here. So this is what I'm calling the Bermuda Triangle. Trashy. And again, brown. No joke. See, there's the trash that shows up all during the summer as well. This is how it looks west of Clybourne in North Hollywood. I've lived in North Hollywood. If I saw that, wouldn't flinch, but this is Burbank. So I think we can do nicer than that. No offense. South of where I live, North Whitnall Highway intersects with Clark and Hollywood Way. You may know where that is. We built an awesome new community garden there. That looks like this, just out of that garden. Lovely, we could do that. We are currently not. So what I'm pitching here is, can we get this? Can we get something better to look at out of our windows on Whitnall Highway? An extension of the park, maybe one more block all the way, preferred. But I've talked to people about this, Burbank Parks and Rec. Good afternoon, Paul. Thanks for reaching out with your concerns. We'd love to help you, but unfortunately, that property belongs to LADWP. So we'd have to reach out to them, which I did. I contacted Constantine, who said, how about I don't know, I can look into it a little bit, maybe a dog park, which I appreciate, but there's one blocks from there. LADWP owning the land and us not getting it back doesn't make much sense because power lines run the length of Whitnall Highway where the land is owned by Burbank. So it's not a power line thing. And LADWP said, hello, thank you for your email. We've sent your comment along to the responsible group. Turns out there isn't one. So I've heard nothing else from the city of Los Angeles. My neighbor told me they used that area for parking when they did construction on Burbank. You remember all the construction, but they're done with that construction. And so I haven't seen vehicles there lately. And also, hey, this is fresh and new. There are tumbleweeds in this area because it is not well kept. So you could still have parking there if you wanted it, from where the construction vehicles park. You could pave it instead of have just a small gravel pile. And then you could put, limited timed parking on it. And when people don't park there correctly, you can ticket them and make the money that way instead of renting the land to LADWP.
He was a member of the Nagasaki mission. He may have affected your family directly or indirectly. He lived with that burden for the rest of his problematic life. My mother had two brothers, John and Charlie. John was a captain. He was in North Africa, liberation of Italy, and he and his brother, Charlie, landed on Normandy. John was wounded critically in Normandy. He earned the Purple Heart Silver Star Croix de Guerre, which is the greatest honor the French government gives to non-French military. John came back to the United States and was never the same. He grew up, I lived 10 miles from him. I met him twice. My mom had no relationship with him. When my mom died in 2012, I went back to Boston and was with her for the last week of her life. She was in and out of a coma. She came out of coma once and she held my hand and she said, John, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you came to see me. I love you. I come from a tough working class Irish Catholic Boston background. We don't say those things very freely. It was very moving. And I asked my sister, who is she talking about? She said, her brother John. And it was at that moment I realized the hole that my mother had in her heart her entire life because of World War II. Last in December, Mr. Rosati didn't like the way people were referring to ICE. For two reasons. He didn't like people F-bombing, and I totally agree with him on that one. I probably started swearing when I was 2, but I don't like it in public. Hey, or further to the United States. He also objected to ICE being referred to Nazis. And referred to his family history as family members murdered by the Nazis, and that's horrible. Now, when people refer to ICE today, right, we're referring to the people who are getting all the press and doing all these horrible things. We're not talking to the entire apparatus of NHS and whatnot. And obviously, they're not technically Nazis, okay? They're not technically members of the National Socialist Party in Germany in the 1930s. They are more of a Nazi-like, fascist, they're authoritarian, right? So they're not technically Nazis, but I think as a political leader, sometimes we need to have the emotional maturity to try to empathize with people when they're saying things that aren't necessarily exactly, nuanced properly, but trying to get behind the meat, what people are trying to actually say. So I don't think it's helpful to try and hide behind semantics, frankly. And I'm saying this on International Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Oh. Thank you for your comment. Next up is Diana Pulver, followed by Cynthia Pease. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members. My name is Diana Pulver, and I am a housing provider. Last year, my insurance premiums rose by 30% from the previous year. This year, I received notice that my premiums will rise again, this time by 58%. Needless to say, this will put quite a strain on my business, and I will be scrambling to hopefully find another carrier. In these inflationary times, this is just another example of what I and my fellow housing providers are dealing with. Additional controls and regulations hinder small business instead of helping. I understand that no one, neither renters nor housing providers, are exempt from inflation. But it seems that housing providers are being unfairly targeted to carry more than their fair share of the burden. Additional regulations and rent control will only serve to exacerbate an already tough economic climate. Instead of targeting housing providers with additional rent controls, the city should concentrate on job creation and a more robust Section 8-like program. These are things that will help both renters and housing providers. Again, I say, don't LA my Burbank, because Burbank could set an example for other cities to follow. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Cynthia Pease, followed by Lorena Quiroga. Welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Takahashi, City Council, City Manager, City Attorney, and staff. Happy New Year. May the force be with you. First off, big thank you from the Cultural Arts Commission. This is the third year that we have arts grants going out to the community. We do hope that you will all attend some of those arts grants. You are sparking and keeping alive the fire for cultural arts in the city while we go through a lot of transition. I want you to be mindful that as the budget looms, every dollar that you expend on the arts comes back to you through revenue, triple fold. And you can check it through the Otis reports and other LA, Southern California reports to see how that money comes back to the businesses, which you know we need right now, and we need the community to stay engaged. Also, I want to say a thank you from the Cultural Arts Commission for approving a cultural affairs supervisor. They do this in other cities, and to bring us to the same level, to bring us current where we are engaging and supporting the community as others do, is very, very important. Yeah, you could check West Hollywood. They've done it for a zillion years before I was born. Thirdly, I did give out a handout, but I will get some more. And I did give one to Mayor Takahashi, and I gave one to our city planning department, and I gave one to the Burbank Chamber of Commerce. And it has to do with allowing arts activities in city businesses. And there's a new group that we have formed, and it is the Burbank Arts Consortium. And we went through all the city codes, 300 pages of city codes that are antiquated and need updating. And then we made recommendations from those pages, which I was giving her a share of sample of how we can simplify those codes to allow arts activities within the city. We're starting with downtown. And I know there will be meetings this year, and I hope you will all be interested enough and engaged to participate with that. And we have a group of wonderful, knowledgeable art types that can also participate if so invited. Lastly, everybody would still like an update on what we're doing with the George's Day Park and this little theater. We need a venue. If you build it, they will come. And in the meanwhile, we're trying to get the film industry to its new place. It's never going to be what it was, but it will be something different. We need places where all of these artists can still practice, rehearse, perform, engage the city. So that little venue, just like the library, okay, is very, very important. And even just repairing the Starlight Ball for now, of which we can bring people in to sell it out to get a little more money in the coffers. So again, thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
Many of us would like to participate in some of these activities, and we're here for you. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Lorena Quiroga, followed by Mike Stage. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, Madam Mayor, Dr. Hodgson, Vice Mayor Mullins, and Honorable City Council. Thank you for allowing me to address you tonight. My name is Lorena Mendez. I've been a long time Burbank resident, raised my family here. I've also been a television producer here for 25 years, as well as a realtor. And I say all this because I know how strong the appreciation is from our city that supports all of our residents and creatives. For the last 2.5 years, I have been co-founder and active member of the Tuesday Night Writers Group, as well as the Burbank Poets and Writers. And we've been able to produce quite a few events in the city, all grassroots. Our proudest recent achievement was partnering with the Burbank Library to present our very first Burbank Story Slam, which took place on January 10th at the Buena Vista Library. This live storytelling competition featured 10 local writers sharing true stories in 5 minutes, judged by award-winning producers and creatives here in Burbank. The turnout was completely tremendous. We filled out the space, and it was indeed a very huge success. I emailed you part of the program that we have. And we also, as you can see, it was almost standing room. And the reason to mention this is because this showed what grassroots events can unite neighbors, spark joy, showcase local talents. So we want to build upon the success of the Story Slam to promote more inclusivity and bring more events to vibrant places, which brings me to the Colony Theater. What a wonderful cultural asset to host professional productions, high school events, as you know. While valuable, many residents, over more than 200 creatives and community members that we've spoken to, shared that they've never heard about events here at the Colony. And they also don't feel that it's accessible for everyday local programming. There's a great potential here to draw more residents by enhancing awareness, outreach, and opportunities in our community-focused events. So, in summary, we're looking for initiatives to continue producing events like the 10-minute Play Fest that we're planning to do later on this year, as well as the Poetry Slam, another Story Slam, just because the community is really wanting it. No more Zoom, they want live events. So I'm here to ask for your support.
Thank you. Next up is Mike Stage, and that's my last physical card. Welcome.
Nothing like bringing up the ending. Thank you. I'm here to talk about short and to the point. Block and ICE, better known as the Gestapo. They work together. They are two sides of the same coin. Block collecting the information and the Gestapo grabbing it and using it against us. And it's all unnecessary on Block's part. It's just for the money. Crime is at its lowest level in 40 years. In some cases, 50 or 60 years. They are collecting this information. It's going to be used to build a database. It's going to be used against us. New Year's Eve. You've got Renee Good, murdered. You've got Renee Good, murdered. Simply because she wanted to take some pictures of a bunch of Looney Tunes. A woman daring to speak up, assassinated. I saw the pictures of what her car looked like afterwards. The inside, blood all over it, her kids' toys covered with blood. I don't know how the family's going to get through that. I really don't. I pray for them every night. And then Alex Pretty, going out, a VA nurse, a man dedicated to helping people. All he did was go over there and help someone who's been slugged, pushed, and shoved. And in return, he gets beaten, maced, thrown to the ground, disarmed, and assassinated. 10, 15 shots. These people are psychopaths. These people do not care about the rules. They do not care about the government. They do not care about any of us. All they care about is power and how much of it they can get and how quickly they can get it. And if we get in the way, well, that's just too damn bad for us. Well, I say no more. We don't have to participate. You can't fight them on their terms. The old ways don't work. Get the flock out of Burbank. Pull the plug. Or like they used to say on old movies, exterminate flock with extreme prejudice. I like that. That would be the way to go. The only way to protect our freedoms and to abolish ICE is to get the flock out of Burbank. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your comment. That's the last of our in-person comments. Do we have folks on the phone still? All right, let's patch them through.
The first caller is Joe.
Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, you members and all staff members and everyone present in the chambers. Once again, wish I was there in person pictures outside. Anyway, I do want to use my time today mostly to bring attention to what has been said earlier that, well, what we've been told was going to happen in Minneapolis. A man was murdered, a man was executed in public. This was preventable. We've been saying that it was preventable, and yet it happened. So this is where things are at the moment. And I think that this is a great opportunity I know that some council members have condemned what ICE has been doing, but I think it would be great if all 5 council members would now they have seen what this institution is capable of, just come out and say that we condemn what they are doing, executing people in broad daylight for exercising their First Amendment right, got people killed. We've been saying that it would, but now it has happened, and it's preventable. We don't want that to happen here. I'm excited, but now we can see that it can, and that we need to protect the people that live here. On this topic, I do want to give praise to the second speaker for coming forward with her story. Coming forward is a very strong start. So, again, my strength to you for coming forward with what has happened to you. Also, I just want to conclude talking about something that's going on that is for Safer Street. Personally, I think that Safer Street due to remove less cars, which is why I think that it's a great opportunity to show support for the CRT and why we stronger means for alternative modes of transportation, such as bike lanes, pedestrian walk, and stronger restrictions for on-speed limits on vehicles. So yeah, that's one thing. And of course, because as a member of the Burbank Community, I always speak a little bit on housing, so I will speak a little bit. Again, just bringing attention that there are still tenants being displaced, there are still tenants who are suffering renovations, there are still tenants that are suffering harassment, even when they come forward, even when they're taking the precautions, even when they come and ask for help from the city, they continue to face harassment from the management, from the property management company. And this is just something that, again, it continues to happen. We don't want it to continue happening, which is why we advocate for stronger protection for tenants, for stronger rights, and also to keep people housed, we need rent stabilization, which means a stronger rent control. Again, nothing that I haven't said before. So for my last time, I just want to bring up the hits again. Of course, protect trans lives and free Palestine. Once again, for all your work, thank you. I hope you're having a good evening. Hope to see you in person in the next one. Have a good one.
Thank you for your call. Next caller, please.
The next caller is Super Cup.
You're on the air with council. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, council. Thank you so much for having us. I'm here to support everyone in the community. Thank you all for being here and taking your time to listen. Audit LA and Lord FM have already spoken, and I'm here to validate their concerns. And I really appreciate that you have made January Human Trafficking Month, and that the fact is it doesn't only speak to trafficking women and sexual crimes, it's also regarding human trafficking of children. And I want to emphasize that kids cannot consent. You're going to see people in the community that are going to take point different businesses, and it's connected to Scientology. They've been infiltrating the community in Los Angeles for 50 plus years. And I feel like after watching this entire community this evening that you all are aware that any human trafficking can infiltrate your community, and you all are aware. Make that clear by saying that this is human trafficking month. That includes human trafficking, children, human trafficking, anyone from any country. People are brought here from other countries, it's also the passports are taken, they have no idea what is happening. And then they get stuck in Los Angeles. My parents came from Eastern European countries, and they would have given anything to be in Los Angeles. And I just want everyone to be aware, please do not allow Scientology to infiltrate Burbank like they have Los Angeles. This is a cult, and we need to ensure that we remove them from the community. Thank you all so much for your time. You're very wonderful people, and you are appreciated. Thank you so much.
Oh, great job.
Thank you for your comment. Next caller, please.
The next caller is Joe.
Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you, Council. I wanted to say just a few words about housing issues. 3% rent cap is more than fair. I think any insinuation using words like discrimination or prejudice and perverting those words to fit a 3% rent cap is preposterous. It's, we saying that that's prejudice or discrimination from a country that is built on chattel slavery and genocide is crazy and wild, but I digress. I want to comment about the recent slaying of Alex Presty in the long list of ICE deaths that we've seen across our country. And as I've spoken to a few city council members now about resisting ICE and some of the work we're doing monitoring the disease here in Burbank and support our immigrant community and our immigrant community, because we know ICE targets them as well. And I've heard a lot of feedback that we don't know what to do. There's not a lot we can do with our federal agencies. And I love that question. I love the question of what we can do. Because right now it's very simple. It's canceling this swap contract. That is a very tangible, easy, non-violent way that you can work to disentangle Burbank from the injustices of ICE. And this Friday, some groups in Los Angeles and California are taking up the call of solidarity with Minneapolis in a general strike. So calling for the general strike, standing in solidarity, and canceling the spot contract, refusing to normalize attacks on our civil rights, including our rights to privacy, is something well within your purview. So thank you for your time. I look forward to connecting with you to do more, and have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you for your comment. That's our last comment? That's our last comment. Okay. There being no further public comment, I now declare the general public comment period closed. Now is the time for a brief response from the council, city manager, and city manager.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a few items here. So one, as far as the vehicle accident and the traffic signs on the pass there, I think both public works and police have already started looking at that to figure out what kind of traffic warning signs or anything else that we could do there. So they're going to study that and we'll report back to you. I think they have already started that prior to tonight. As far as the that kind of Bermuda Triangle, so to speak, if that, we will double check to see if that is owned by LA DWP. If it is, that's going to not be the easiest lift. As you know, we are already struggling just with the dog park across town, trying to get them to do things, but that doesn't mean that we can't try to engage them and ask. But that tends to take a long time, unfortunately, with that entity. So, if there's something that we can do, we will definitely follow up and try to make that, figure out some solution that makes it nicer. So definitely agree. And then the other thing, there was a speaker talking about Isaiah and Olive Park and the recreation center there. So as you know, the council did approve the Isaiah Park Master Plan recently. So we are and actually did proceed with approving staff to go out and actually do the development plans. So we are actually underway with the design and development. So we are hoping, the architects are working hard. So we hope to bring back something. We've seen it in concept size, but we really want to bring that back, something spectacular. So, as you know, we have that approval and we are proceeding with that. So those are the first three things that I'm more than happy to answer in questions.
The attorney, do you have to say?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right, council, brief comments, please. Right there. Thank you. Well, I'm going to start, of course, by thanking everybody who came tonight, also who called in, and applaud Zonta Club, Gloria, and all the members of Zonta for always reminding us the importance of awareness for human trafficking and all the work that they do. So thank you for bringing all this information to our attention. And to our first two speakers, Audit and Laura, thank you for being here. And I know it takes a lot to come here and share your thoughts and feelings. And I'd like to see if we can connect with the Zonta Club members. I know you saw them earlier. You can look them up online. This would be a great resource to spread the word. It's all about education. It's spreading the word, and this organization can definitely help you with everything that you shared. So thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts with us and your experience. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Then all the other things have been answered. Mr. Lane, thank you for sharing your story as well. It's the first time I hear it, so I appreciate it. It's always nice to hear backgrounds on some family backgrounds, so I appreciate you sharing your story with us tonight. And Ms. Pease, I think she's gone. Well, we'll talk to her later, but as always, she's always here encouraging us and letting us, cheering us on to support the art. And she knows that I know all five of us really support the art in the community. And I think Ms. Mendez, I don't know if she's here, she's gone as well. She is gone. But I did exchange some emails with her, and I'm working on maybe a solution for her with her group. So I know staff is aware of it. The email came to all of us. So I will be reaching out to you hopefully sometime tomorrow to see if we can make connections with folks that can help you achieve what you want with your group. Let's see, I think that's about everybody, but if I didn't go down the list name by name, thank you all for being here, and I'm sure you'll hear from the rest of the council here. Yes, Councilmember Rosati.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just wanted to say thank you for everyone for coming tonight. Ms. Salas, for all the work you do and your members of Zonta. It's just the tremendous work you do in our community. So thank you if you're still here. Mr. Ferguson, the people from the Ferguson group, thanks for the update. It was very enlightening. I look forward to seeing what happens the first quarter. I think hopefully we'll have to see some housing bills come up. And Laura, thank you for your story. I know it's difficult to come here and tell it, but we appreciate it. And Carmen, thank you for your concern over street safety. As you heard, we're working on taking a look at some of those recommendations I live very close to that area and that was a horrible crash scene, so. Ms. Pease, thank you for all you do on the Cultural Arts Committee, if you're still here. And Lorena, thank you for all your emails and updates and invites, and engagement. You certainly have my support for the arts. And I'm sorry, some of the callers, I really couldn't hear too good what was being said, so I apologize if I missed something with some of the callers, but thank you, Madam Mayor.
Great. All right, next up, Councilmember Anthony and then Councilmember Chris.
Thank you. Yes, I did see video of that crash on the news, and yeah, it was horrific. It was just terrible. That curve though is so minor. I mean, it's not unsafe. I just want to reiterate that we take time and care to make sure our streets are safe. The woman traveling at such a high speed, that speed could make any road unsafe. So we do have to be careful how we're driving and how fast we're driving. I do want to thank the folks who came out today to talk about an organization that may or may not be showing up here in Burbank. If you have any of this information, you can always send it to council, city council at burbankca.gov if you have any images or information. I know Leah Remini from the King of Queens has a docuseries, very informative.
Yes.
So thank you for coming down. I'm always wary of what's happening in the city, so love to hear from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yes, this Bermuda Triangle is, it's tough, it's tough. Who's got the overlay, who's got the easement, who owns the land, who runs the land, it's a headache, so I appreciate you coming down and walking us through it, so thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all for coming on down and sharing public comment and the folks on the phones too. I want to start by thanking Zonta, of course, for recognizing Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Thank you to Gloria Salas for mentioning Journey Out. They are a wonderful nonprofit in the Valley and have the pleasure to work with, involving human trafficking and domestic violence cases. And as a homeless service provider myself, I have had very successful experiences working with the DOJ and the FBI on human trafficking cases here in the San Fernando Valley. And so I think it's just wonderful that we continue to create awareness for this. And I know Gloria shared these, but forgot to kind of highlight them, so I'll do you a solid. There are some here with the National Human Trafficking Hotline number, which is 1-866-347-2423. And you can find all this information online. If you're interested in participating, Zonta is an amazing org to work with. I want to thank the folks who spoke on the Scientology and sharing that it takes a lot of bravery, especially when you have lived trauma and lived experience. So thank you for being here and stepping forward. My understanding is that as a city, we do not work with any of them or their entities or drug-free world, but I appreciate you bringing forward the awareness because there are a lot of amazing, anti-drug campaigns out there for our youth. And so it's important that we don't conflate these with things like what Scientology is doing. So thank you for coming forward and bringing awareness. I want to thank Carmen for the road sign ideas. It takes passionate citizens to come forward and share their thoughts to change their community. So thank you for that. And I'm glad to hear that city staff is already working on that. To Mr. Pressman, thank you for coming down. Honestly, that was, to your point, the most efficient presentation I've ever seen with pictures. So thank you for coming on down. I will share, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I'll share what my colleague said. When it's an LADWP property, it has taken us, I don't even want to say how long, for the dog park. And that's us as a city entity trying to work with that. But I have no reason to doubt our amazing city staff will ping them, we'll push them and see if we can get any kind of, a response from them. We'll help you out because I live by you and yeah, it's an eyesore for sure.
And then, my gosh, Miss Mendez, that's a wonderful event that you have. You should connect with the Arts Commission, with Miss Pease, if you haven't already. And then finally, last but absolutely not least, thank you to all of you who spoke on the atrocities that ICE is committing in our communities. Thank you for standing for justice at a time when we are being told that we need to be silent by many folks. Thank you for standing for what's right. And I'm with you. They've gone beyond the pale and we need to abolish ICE. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Along with the rest of the council here, thank you for coming tonight and speaking about what's important to you in the community. Thank you for taking time out of your lives to be here tonight. Thank you for those who sent emails and had meetings during the week since the last meeting. And for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome to City Council Chambers. Glad to have you here. Thank you for being here. I know it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes to stand at the microphone, so thank you for taking bravery and to do that, to share with us what's going on with you and what's concerning for you. Reflecting what the council members already said, but just want to reinforce, thank you to Audit and Laura for coming tonight and speaking about your experiences, and in addition to what was mentioned about Zonta and also Journey Out, if you haven't already contacted them. And I want to also reinforce what Councilmember Anthony said, is to feel free to send us any information that you feel is pertinent to the whole council and see if we can, if there's anything that we can do, we will definitely try. To the bike guide about the ADA and disabled connection with police. Always looking for innovative ideas. Our police chief is right there. And also, if you're not familiar with it, we have a community police academy. I think is getting started soon. So if you haven't looked into that, it's a wonderful way to get connected with the police department and learn more about behind the scenes and to share your ideas there too. And that's for the whole community. And then really quick question about the Bermuda Triangle. With LADWP properties, who generally is responsible for the upkeep of mowing and picking up trash and that kind of thing?
The property owner.
So LADWP, but we end up probably doing it anyway, or do they come by?
I would assume they do it.
I see.
I don't know if they contract it out or how they do that, but it's their property, they need to maintain it.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's unfortunate. All right. Thank you.
Are we officially calling it Bermuda Triangle?
I think so. And that's the official name. Yeah. Put it on Google Maps. And then Ms. Mendez is not here still, but I just wanted to do a shout out for the Burbank Buena Vista Library Story Slam. That was just a really cool idea and so cool. Things like this, the Story Slam is an example of how our community comes up with these great ideas, pursues them, and then brings them to fruition, and the community loves it. So if you have an idea and you think, oh, I don't know, please pursue it, because that's how a lot of these cool things happen, is because the community steps up and says, look at this cool thing we can do, and then we do it. And then just one last thing about this business to staff, about the calls we heard. I agree with Councilmember Rosati that they're hard to hear. In the actually past few council meetings, it's been a little bit tough to hear both volume and clarity of speech. And I'm wondering if maybe we could look into that a little bit.
Yeah, we struggle with that. It's hard. There's a lot of different variables. We are actually for, was it SB 707? We're actually going to change out to Zoom soon. So we were going to try to upload you later. We still have till July, but there will actually be a transition that the city clerk's working on, along with a city manager, IT, and some other departments. So there will be a change this summer at some point. So, but we know it's the ongoing struggle of the phones.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, to those who call in, sorry we're having technical difficulties. If you can speak a little louder and a little bit more articulating your words, I know that's it's a big ask, but if you can, that'd be helpful. But we're doing our best to listen. I heard the gist of what they said, even though it was still a struggle, but it was fun. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much again for everyone who came, and then we will be moving on to the next item. So next up is the consent calendar. The consent calendar may be enacted in one motion. Madam Secretary, please read the consent calendar.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 5 items.
Yeah. Let me get
Item
a
1
picture.
is approval of the city council minutes of the joint meeting of January 13th, 2026, and the meeting of January 20th, 2026.
Email.
Item 2 is adoption of a resolution correcting resolution number 29.
Thank you. Sorry.
I don't think it's elections. I can't see story. Yeah, it is. Got to hear the same.
I have to go through here, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. I'll wait for a bite. I want to find out where the ladies' room is. Might be downstairs. I'll wait for her. Oh, hang on. Once you get the, I wasn't, I know, it's so different.
Completely different.
We need to call you. Yes, we do.
We can't if they're not gonna allow marijuana.
Well, they can't stop you at your home.
They're gonna pass that law. I just can't live here.
I know, but these people, they were like, every last one of them. That was amazing. I told you it was different. I told you it was up to persons.
But you didn't know it was like that, right?
Yeah, no, we did. He did it when the Tori were there the same way. And
When
and
you read them on,
afterwards,
it
they,
still seems like intense.
well, they come and talk to you afterwards too, but I just don't know if we can wait, that would be so late. The other meetings were earlier, so I got over fast.
How long is it gonna take for me? Is it like I have to take different trains and all this to get back?
Hold on, yeah, I'll take you,
We'll figure it out. What,
yeah.
where do you go before I have to get off and go on there?
No, I'll take you all the way, not all the way home, but to the
Where I
train.
need to go?
Yeah, I'll take you to the train. Then once you get on the train, you'll know, then you know what stop you get off on that.
Okay.
It's not scary. Scary, guys. That's not scary. Hey, Sir Harry, how you doing? Oh my gosh.
Who is it?
Sir Harry. We always ride the trains. Gina MT. Oh man, they were great. Like I would stay to the end because they go up and talk to you afterwards. It gets so different than LA. They listen, they empathize, they like interact. This is so way different. I would move to Burbank in a heartbeat, but it's a little pricey. Yeah. Oh man, bike guy's gonna be all day. Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking to the chief about his idea. Huh? You ever start emailing them? So I'm glad they made a stand that they are not working with them.
That's the first time I've
Yeah.
ever heard, I've heard that.
Like the whole government, like the whole,
Why is the transparency not there?
yeah,
All the government, they need to be, all city people should be super transparent.
yeah. And they're like, let us know if you see them. If you know they're
Period.
coming around, let us know. We don't
And
want,
give us
they basically said
Tennessee
we don't want that.
information,
We have
whatever.
plenty of good programs. We don't need
Literally.
this nonsense. You know,
Yeah.
good.
And one of the guys were saying that they are.
Yes,
they
the acknowledgement
infiltrate-
was amazing.
They infiltrate,
Super Pups moving you to Burbank. Good.
love you, super pups.
Yes. Yes, let's do that because she needs that support. They were so supportive of
Yeah.
her. Like, thank you for your, like, did you feel the love? Like,
Yeah.
that was like so much
Felt like
support.
I'm
Unlike
shocked right
LA,
now.
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? It's like making me like, all right. Like there's other
Yeah, there's people that
not so much
care.
resistance.
Yeah, because they're
or
not
fear from
infiltrated
people
here.
who are
Yeah.
fucking insane.
I mean, I felt a little bit of fear knowing that they're going to be watching us completely like ruin it, but
Love it. Let 'em-
yeah, let
We're
them.
gonna
But
be
I'm not
fine.
afraid. I was like, I don't care, Kirsten Peterson, until you leave LA.
Oh my God, baby.
Thank you so
I
much.
just wanna hug you.
She was the,
I've never been like so, I've gone to so many of these meetings and it's always like, oh, stop it. I'm like.
in LA. Oh, they're horrible in LA. Horrible.
Completely different.
Should be a public comment that language for everyone to do, like as a provider.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we get fired because at one point, well, I was like, schooling her phone, like, it's like, well, they're having a newborn, like I'm checking on her, like, every 5 minutes. But she was like, literally like feet up, just
Oh, yeah.
scrolling.
That's what they do.
Just scrolling.
I tell them they owe me an apology.
Anyways, and I was like, Miss Garcia, if I could have your attention, I was like,
We do that too.
That's what we do.
Listen.
Yeah, we
I feel like
we go to every meeting almost.
5 of us are taking notes in there.
But we just don't want, we both want to move to Burbank now. It's like this is like a great city because they're so infiltrated over there that they just don't want to bounce. We don't want it here.
Yeah, she literally was on their stage not even 12 years ago. And it's like, transparency is so. We're like, yeah, no.
Good. Yeah, I'm so grateful because we talked last time about, about how they,
I checked in with the city manager between then and now, and that's why he was like, yeah, no, they're not.
they did, and her name is Ann Dunham.
Yeah.
So she was supposed to have come and talked to, she scheduled it, but maybe they didn't come. They're,
Anna didn't.
I think they probably are set today, because you hear like, oh, I want to drug it. Okay, sure, yeah, we'll put you on the agenda.
yeah, then someone's, oh, no, yeah, we don't need this. Yeah, because she's like a holistic doctor, which I don't mind holistic medicine, but it's all this, like, they believe in, to detox drugs, that all they believe is doing this, like, where you,
Purification,
yeah.
which is completely no.
Oh, yes.
authority.
It's actually dangerous.
Credentials, nothing. It's completely made up by a fraud.
It's so weird that they're not pushing that way, because the easiest way to tell them no is like, church would say, sorry.
Literally.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, what are you guys doing? It's already illegal. I just have to prove it.
But thanks for speaking out.
Yes, thank you for being so kind to her. I always warn, because like they told me to warn, because I advocate for her to warn, because they get rude sometimes in LA, and so you guys are so kind, and like, I'm like, oh, I didn't even have to say anything, like, I know, it's so different. Okay, where is the bathroom? Where is the bathroom? Oh, I won't be able to go in. Is there one on the first floor? Is there one on the first floor?
Is there one on the first floor?
There's a bathroom right here.
I was gonna, all right, guys.
Okay, come on it, come please.
All right, I'm gonna have to go potty, so I'm gonna sign off my thing's about to die anyway. Or let her go to the bathroom first. Right, guys, we love you. We are so excited. We're moving to Burbank. Well, Laura, we'll move her to Burbank. That's where you need to be. You go first. No, I'll wait.
Oh, no, go for it.
No.
We have one in there.
Oh, you
So
do?
go in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Stay away from the.
I hear you.